Roger Federer will be seen one final time as a competitive tennis player next week at the Laver Cup. It's an announcement that has taken everyone who follows sport by shock. And I'm joined right now by someone who knows Roger Federer very well, who's played with him, who's beaten him, who's lost to him. Mahesh Bhupati, 12-time Grand Slam champion, joins me now from London. Mahesh, we all sort of knew that this was going to happen, but the indications were that Roger Federer would give it one last shot before ending this great career.
I think that's what we all wished for, obviously, Diggy. Honestly, Roger has been able to kind of extend his career incredibly long, and coming back from knee surgery at his age with the demands and how physical tennis is was always going to be a challenge. We all wanted him to give it one last hurrah, but, it wasn't meant to be, unfortunately.
As I mentioned, you played against him, you've lost to him. But what sort of defines the Federer sort of legacy is that he was the ultimate professional and he was a thorough gentleman off the court.
Yeah, it's very hard to kind of explain. I think, obviously being the ultimate professional gentleman, fan favorite, the tennis player with the magic wand. But, at the end of the day, he was in the locker room always one of the boys. I mean, I've said this before, and, Roger would say hello to literally everyone in the locker room, regardless of ranking or status. And very, very few of the past champions were ever like that. And I've been around a lot of them in the locker room over my career. So, he was not only a fan favorite, but he was the player favorite as well. So that's, something that, the respect kind of took it a long way.
Now, there are many records which you associate with Roger Federer over the course of this legendary career. There's so many firsts that have sort of, are there next to his name. But for you, what stood out, Mahesh? What for you was sort of the defining Federer sort of record?
Again, I think, it was just the entire package, right? I mean, the way he carried himself off the court, the way he behaved on the court once, that switch clicked on and he won his first Grand Slam. He was a brat when he came onto the tour. We all knew that, breaking a lot of rackets. But, one fine day that switch turned on. And since then, I mean, he's only been associated with some of the best brands in the world. So, I mean, he never set a foot wrong, regardless of what he did. And everything he touched turned to gold. So, I mean, I think it was the entire package.
We're just putting out a graphic showing the GOAT race. For a lot of people, Rafael Nadal sort of edged ahead by winning that 21st Grand Slam in Australia, went on and won 22. Novak Djokovic has 21. Federer has 20. Where would you now put him in that GOAT race? Is he the greatest of all time? Or do you think that recent results have, in terms of results at least, have pushed Nadal ahead?
Look, I had, a lot of people have asked me this, but, in sports, statistics don't lie, right? Unfortunately, he will always be a fan favorite for everyone I know, including me. But, the bottom line is he's going to finish this race at number 3. It's very hard for me or anybody who understands sport to put him above Rafa or Novak. I mean, it's very hard to call him the GOAT if he's got a losing record on this against your two biggest rivals. So, I think we got to just be fair to the fact that we all love Roger. We all love him for what he gave to tennis and how he kind of transcended the sport, just like Tiger did in golf. And that'll always be his legacy.
Yes, and when you talk about sports persons, Mahesh, you have transcended their sport. You throw in the names of the late Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods, as you mentioned, Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps over here in India, Sachin Tendulkar, and then Serena Williams and Roger Federer. Is that what defines his sort of legacy? That you say the name Federer somewhere, and the person out there could be sitting in Bhubaneswar, could be sitting somewhere in London. He immediately would say tennis player.
Yeah, I mean, these are, once in a generation athletes. I think in tennis, we've been very fortunate to see 4 of them in this era, including Serena. But we've been very lucky. But Roger is synonymous with the sport, and that's going to continue for generations to come. I mean, he's left mark, and he's played tennis like no one has ever before. Standing on the baseline, hitting half volley winners year after year after year. I mean, that people don't understand how incredibly hard that is to do.
Okay, one final question. So the Laver Cup is the end. As things stand, Nadal is there, Djokovic is there, Andy Murray is there. Perhaps the best way for Roger Federer to go out with the three men who pushed him and sort of enhanced his greatness in a sense. As you said, that great rivalry which went on from 2005 right down till 2018, 2019.
Yeah, I think honestly, there's no better way for him to kind of step out. I think, obviously we all know that Roger is involved with the event, and I'm pretty sure the only way to get these four guys on the same tennis court is probably the fact that these guys knew that it was his last event in advance, and that now makes sense to why they're all going there to pay tribute to, like I said, someone we all love and owe a lot to for what he's done for tennis.
Yes, he's done a lot for tennis, he's done a lot for sport. He's sort of got people, children, everyone who had something to do with sport, interested in sport. I guess, Mahesh, being the huge fan that you are, you're probably going to end up with tickets for that final Federer moment. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing those memories of Roger Federer.